Okay.
So my name is Marisa Smith. I already forgot what you told me to say.
And you have a blind child?
Yes, I have a child who is legally blind. He can see somewhat, but he gets all of his detail information tactily.
And how old is he?
He is 7, 7.5.
And does he have some other disabilities besides blindness?
He does. He has cerebral palsy, which affects his left arm and both legs. So he has a little bit of fine motor skill delay as well.
And speech? Does it affect his speech?
He doesn't speak right now. The best guess is that the seizures, damage from the seizures, kind of took that. So we're still kind of working to get the speech back. So he's kind of a unique kid because he communicates with signs, but he doesn't see any signs. So you have to talk to him in order for him to know what you're saying, and you have to look at him to know what he's saying.
But he understands pretty well?
Yeah, he understands quite well.
Can I say, Tug, do you remember me? Did I get a response?
If he were next to you, he would probably give you a yes or a no on your hand. We put out our hand in front. So here, hey, buddy. Hey, do you like music? Yes. So I put my hand out and he taps it. Yes.
Tug, do you like dogs?
Do you like dogs? You don't want to talk.
You don't have to.
It's like, I'm playing with my toy.
So what was your reaction when you first found out that Tug had some problems?
Well, the day he was born went differently than we would have expected. He came 6 weeks early, which my first kid came 2 weeks late, so I thought I had 2 more months. I was really ready. I had not even prepped the nursery yet. And he came, and we ended up doing a C-section because my previous one had been, and Tug was breech. So when he came out, the first thing the doctor said is, he's breathing and his heart looks great. This is awesome. And the second thing the doctor did was kind of turn pale and rush out of the room with Winston. He had a rare platelet disorder that caused bleeds in his brain, and he was bruising a lot when he was born. So our first 5 days in the NICU were scary. There's a lot of things, They first did just a ultrasound to see what there might be going on, and then they did an MRI. When they did an MRI, they found that he'd had 2 bleeds in his brain before he was born. So he has damage in the occipital lobe, and the biggest challenge is that he has damage in most of his cerebellum, which is categorized by ataxic cerebral palsy. So it's balance, coordination issues, motor planning issues, and processing.
So when you found this out, did you immediately say, okay, I am going to deal with this. I am going to learn what I have to or did you feel emotionally very upset about it first?
I didn't feel the emotions until about day 5. Everything came so fast and so quick, and he was so fragile that I had to be functional. I could not fall apart.
First thing is to keep him alive.
Right.
And once you got past that.
Yeah, it's he had his first seizure on day 5. And that broke through whatever reserve I had. Because he'd already had so much. It was just one more thing. So it was a challenge. There was a lot of emotion, a lot of challenge, but I was the parent to handle it. That was my job. My husband was taking care of our big kid and handling school and homework and work, house and dog and all the things, and I had Tug.
So you soon got very determined.
Yeah, it was definitely I have to function. I have to do what I need to do. So the first thing was pump and nurse effectively because he had an abdominal issue as well. And then, listen to the doctors, understand what they were saying, learn what they were saying.
When did you feel it was, or how did you determine that you should move to some educational things instead of just physical things? Because obviously you have to do the physical things, but.
You mean educational for me?
Well,
for
for
him?
both of you.
I'm a learner, studier person. If I pass a thing and I don't know why it's doing a thing, I want to figure out why that's happening. That's just who I am.
So were you able to find people to help you with the educational part?
We had a really good support system built in at the hospital, and we have a lot of good family. The hospital did really well at connecting us immediately as soon as we were out of the NICU with the early intervention program. And the early intervention program brought Andrea into our lives, and she helped work through some feeding speech type issues. She helped work with some vision type stuff. She's great. And
Where do you live?
we live in Meridian, Idaho. And
so she's close by. That helps.
Yeah, she's fairly close. It's nice. But she gave me all this information because she's so knowledgeable and so educated. Mm-hmm. And I was still kind of on automatic pilot, just trying to do the things I needed to do, the next thing I need to do, and talk to the next therapist, doctor, do this. Yeah.
And so what happens next?
What happens next?
7.5, and
so he's 7.5, and he's been amazing. He has done all the things that people weren't sure he'd ever do, and he has demonstrated that he loves to learn. He does. If somebody sits down and tries to teach him something, it takes him a second, then he realizes what's happening, and he's totally in, and he wants to learn the thing. You come up with a new game, he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna do it 17 times until he gets it right. If he falls down while trying to do something, he'll pull himself back up and fall down again, and pull himself back up and fall down again. He's amazing.
Emotionally.
Anything, even when he falls over physically, he'll get right back up.
Okay. Is he walking independently?
He doesn't walk or stand independently. He goes up on his knees now, and he can pull himself up. So he wanted to play the piano, so I moved the bench, and he pulls himself up on the piano, and he plays on the piano, and then he'd fall over, and he'd come back over, and he'd pull himself up, and he'd keep doing it because he wanted to get it. And that's just it's a gift. He's a joyful kid who works dang hard, so he learns so much. He'll learn it. And so he's been working with Dana on various things for Braille, and she's like, what number cell is, or what number dot is this, or where's 3, or I think Tina was doing some of that, and he knows it. He finds it.
Yeah, he does not want to take a break when he's looking at Braille. We've noticed that.
He wants to learn it and figure this out. And that took a little challenge with school to kind of help the school understand that he could learn, and they should spend that time trying to teach him these things, because he's a nonverbal kiddo, and as a blind child, he's not making eye contact, so they can't tell if he's paying attention or not.
But he's clearly using the toys.
Oh yeah. He once people get to know him, they realize he uses and learns and explores, and he's amazing. Mm-hmm. Hi. Coming to see me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
we're talking about you, don't you?
Yes. As you can tell, he loves music. He loves to sing. He loves to play anything that makes noises.
Okay, you can stop.